Wait, where's Sean show?
Not here.
1, 2, 3.
Got plenty of time. Come on, Sean show. Let's get it.
No.
Oh, give me 30 seconds.
I'm not ready. I am ready. Oh, shimmy. No, shimmy.
So blue at the end of, or at the beginning of phase 2, we bait a frontal, obviously. Right now, we're baiting it like in between triangle and X, or skull and blue. Gotta make sure that we're always on one of the two markers, and bait the frontal, and then always move left. Whenever frontal happens, I notice like 3 people always go right, and then the rest of people go left. We want to make sure that we're on X so that we can get ready to do the pull. As soon as the pull happens, we need to make sure people are faster. A lot of people seem like they're still confused, like they get pulled and they don't know what to do. First group that gets pulled goes left and right, and the second group that gets pulled always just runs straight to the boss. You get pulled, you just run straight. It's pretty straightforward.
I have a question about that real quick. We're on opposite sides, right? The red and the blue team?
Yeah.
So if we're getting pulled in those directions, shouldn't we both just go right? Because it's opposite?
Well, I mean, if you like, the first group can go left and right, and then most of the people are gonna break their webs.
I'm saying, like, if we're strafing in, we should all go right or all go left, right? Because, like, we're going to be on opposite sides facing each other? Or no, is that not right?
So you go left and right. The first group goes left and right because they want to break webs. The second group that gets pulled in just goes straight because they're not going left or right. So, like, if you're on X and you get pulled first, you go to skull or green. And then the second group, which is the opposite color, would be at blue. They get pulled in after you, so you've already spread out from the middle, and they just go straight to X because they have to soak orbs at X. And then the group that got pulled first, that went to skull or green, after they break their webs, they are then going to blue to soak the orbs that are there.
Correct.
I have a question.
The ultimate goal is to basically swap positions.
In the video, they have people designated left and right. Do we have that?
No, we did it as 1 and 2 goes left, 3 and 4 goes right.
And if you're still webbed, you just...
So if you get pulled first, you'd go right, because you're group 4.
What if my web partner also goes right?
That's
And
fine.
you just break
That's
it
what I'm saying.
afterwards.
You just break.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
It's not a big deal.
We just want to make sure that you guys get away from the middle, because many times people just stayed in the middle, and when blue team got gripped through or red team got gripped through, I mean, it happened for both. We just got murdered because we're getting gripped through people because they're not running.
You both still clear through to the right side. Hostile. You just once you get out of the main circle, you figure out how to break your web when there's no one else around.
It just seemed like the few pulls that we got there, me and my partner both had the same idea of how to break the webs. Is seemed chaotic.
The nice thing about the webs, though, is like you realistically don't have to break them. You know, like they don't kill you after a duration or anything like that. So you have infinite time to break them and figure out which way you're going.
Yeah, they're designed in phase 3 that you actually need 3 groups to soak them, so they don't do that much damage. The only reason why we want to break immediately is because it is just added damage. So if you just go the same direction as your person, I mean, if you have a defensive, use it, but it's not that big of a deal. It's just a little bit extra damage, and then ultimately, say you're at X, you get pulled to center, you're both going right, maybe one person goes this way, one person goes that way, break, and then you both converge on blue and soak corpse. Because the ultimate end goal is after you break webs, you get to the opposite color. To
All right, you're hurting my brain. Just a TLDR then. First group gets gripped in. Groups 1 and 2 go left. Groups 3 and 4 go right. Second group goes through the boss, right? TLDR?
Correct.
Perfect, let's do it.
For dispels, people were still trying to, skirt around the outside. You got to make sure that you're directly underneath the boss. And dispel, and they're quick. So as soon as you get dispel, you run the fuck out towards your group. Blue should always be first, or prioritize first. So blue person, will get 2 dispels, and then she'll do her teleport back to the middle, even though she's already in the middle. And then that's when you do 3, 4, 5. Just make sure no one else is in the middle. Pretty much everyone else should be on our respective markers anyway, because there's no other movement needed there.
Where is she for 1 and 2?
Right in the middle for this first
The
one.
first set of dispels, she's in the middle. The second set of dispels, we'll get 2 on the edge, and then she teleports in the middle.
Oh,
Yeah.
so for the first one, all 5 dispels are in the middle?
Yep.
And then for the second set of dispels, I mean, if we see that, the third person would know that she's going to teleport to the middle, so the third person would get ready and already be in the middle before her teleport.
That sounds like it might be cutting it really close if we don't do what they did in the video.
It's 2 on the edge and 3 in the middle.
You just said we're doing all of them in the middle.
For the
For the
first
first one.
That's literally what the video has. For the first one, everyone's in the middle. Because the boss is in the middle.
I could have sworn they did 2 before it teleported.
They do
It's
when
because
it's the
she-
second set of
yeah.
dispels.
She always teleports to the middle after the mechanic, but she's already starting in the middle, so she teleports from the middle to the middle, so she never moves. So for the first set only, all 5 are in the middle. But on the future sets, because she's on the outside, that's
Got it.
when
Yeah, we got it.
Other than that, anything want to be said about P1 or intermission?
I was on the phone, but I just real quick. Sorry, I've heard Ice Cube get interrupted twice now while he's trying to explain something that people clearly don't understand. If you don't want to hear it, that's fine. But we're not here to be dicks, So clearly, if you're asking, it's because you're confused or you didn't watch the video or both. And he's being kind enough to explain it. If you don't want to hear the long-winded explanation, don't ask the question, Go ahead, whoever's talking.
I was gonna say, is there anything added to, phase 2 is pretty much talked about. I know we wanted to talk about intermission.
Yeah. How close can we be? Because I still need uptime on the boss during that for healing. A lot of I was just watching people get chunked by the ticking damage. And but I don't want to be too close to not fuck with the dispels during that.
max range is fine if people getting dispelled are directly under the boss. Otherwise, if you're on the side with an Urak, you could just play it safe there.
Yeah. If
but
it's within a
ultimately-
bracket, then yeah, I agree. Okay.
Ultimately, we're heroisming on that purely because each dispel is a damage increase. So if melee can't hit the boss, then what's the point of heroing it? So we really need to be clean on being directly underneath. Which is nice when he's in the center because it's right there. There's a ground marker.
Okay, but we're just basically just holding the same positions that we were like after we ran through and grabbed the orbs, and then just like trying to get inch in a little bit.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Just max range if you can to be safe, obviously. But if it jumps to you because they weren't the center, that's not your fault.
Yeah, that was the issue that I had last time. Was I'm trying to hit them, but I'm also really really close to people.
If I have the swarm and I am third, can I be next to whoever's in the middle that's blue? As long as I don't kill him. Because technically it wouldn't jump to me since I have it.
Maybe you get 2 stacks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so like it's just fast movement. So first person, like as the dispels are happening, the first person should already be in the middle. Like you get it, you go instantly middle, dispelled, run out. Second person, instantly goes dispel out, and then third person, same thing. Just you have to be really quick with this mechanic, and
Well, to
there
his
can't
point-
be any like, hey,
How
I'm
close
finishing
can
my
you be?
cast.
How close can another person who has the swarm be to the person directly in the middle?
Just don't be.
Just don't be in the middle.
There's no reason. Well, so just to run through it real quick, let's say Cinder gets 1. His weak aura, like there's a text icon or a warning on his screen that says he's 1. So he should know to go to the center of the room. Tons or Yoink or whoever is gonna, 3, 2, 1 dispel. The moment you get dispelled, you run back to like your side. So if he's like on this side, he runs back to this side, and the second person should already be on the way because they're the same color, right? So the moment they're in the center of the room, 3, 2, 1 dispel, that guy gets out because the next person that gets dispelled is the opposite color. That guy runs to the center of the room, 3, 2, 1 dispel, and then it's the same thing for 4 and 5. It's very it has to be done quickly because we do the 2 before she teleports, but she's still in the center of the room, and then it's the 3. It just has to be done very quickly. So if you have the swarm, it can't be, oh, I got dispelled, I'm gonna hard cast in the center of the room, or I'm gonna cast, I'm gonna fucking press something that immobilizes me in the center. You have to go back to your side so that the other person can get in and it doesn't
Right.
bounce to you.
For my specific question though, if Cinder has it and he's directly in the middle and I have number 2, is there like a certain range I have to be away as the
You're on
second
blue,
holder?
so you
This ring.
You can be here.
You just stay on your side.
He's
The
right
ring.
here. You're right here. This is fine.
Yeah.
Specific range is technically further from him than the boss is. If he's directly on the boss, you could be as close as you could be and it would be fine.
Right.
Don't test it. Just
Yeah. The other thing is, like, as soon as you get to
Hard.
the center, just think about what direction you need to run back to. There was definitely a poll where I watched someone run to the center from over there, and then as they get the spell, they continue to run this way and murder the rest of us in the opposite color group.
I'll also make a note now that it's further along in the fight when we're doing the outside dispels. But if you are number 3, so after he teleports to the middle, you need to be there as he teleports. It's going to be an immediate dispel for number 3. So even if you're melee, you're off the boss in the direct middle, he teleports on top of you, instant dispel.
Correct.
Well, for now, we'll just focus on the first half of P2 if people get that in their brain, and then we can talk about the second half. But some quick notes before we start pulling on like P1 and intermission. I noticed in P1 a lot. Ben only recorded half of the night because I didn't ask him to do that beforehand, so that's my fault. But I noticed that on blue side, he's doing a lot of the lifting with orb soaking. I need other people to help him. So like I know Gangsha was doing a lot to just maybe look to do it a little more. And then some of the slower classes like the the DKs, you can soak more than the 1. It just there should never be a point where Ben is soaking 3 and then 1's about to blow up, so he has to soak a 4th and then die, right? And from what I saw, that happened like a lot. So just be like, if you get to your spot and there's no orb there, you know, it doesn't necessarily matter. You should still be looking to soak orbs. I will also say too, it's kind of like a fine balance. You have 20 seconds to soak the orbs. The moment your like orbs drop and we start to rotate, you don't have to like pop every speed buff known to fucking man and then get to the other side. You have 20 seconds. A lot of the deaths we have in P1 that I saw were just people running over each other. It's okay to wait, you know. We're all going to the same place. It's orb soaks, you know. You have 20 seconds. It's okay. And then for intermission, both sides are kind of being fucky with intermission, so I'm just gonna post some pictures in the boss channel real quick. We'll start with blue. That's a no-no. I guess I'll start with what we mean when we say we want you to loose spread. Loose spread does not mean you need to be 5-10 yards away from each other, right? So like just for reference, Hans, stay still. If Hans and I are like this, that's totally fine, because his orb's gonna spawn there and my orb's gonna spawn here. The only bad thing you can do is this. If I'm on this guy, you know, if he's touching my body, we're dropping orbs on top of each other and someone's gonna die. But like, this is fine. You can even be a little closer. I don't care. The entire group needs to do this. We'd be closer into the center here. Anything dropped outside of this, or like to the right or left of me, is bad. You're gonna kill people. You have to drop in your quadrant. You can be close to people. That's totally fine. You just can't be touching their character, because you know. I know blue side, it's annoying because most of you are melee and you want boss uptime, but like you can still find a way for all of.
Like you can see.
I looked at those two. Oddly enough, those were better than the one I linked.
Okay, yeah, that's because we are giga stacked. Because we are giga stacked there, so obviously we need to just be more set.
Yeah, I know what because like red does it too, right? Like you're all like hugging the edge and you're waiting for that fucking right. Like you're all like hugging the edge and you're waiting for that fucking cone to go away.